Dr. Driscoll, busting bits. I know I did the fucking little intro, but I do it again because I need the English speaking me to fucking say it in order for me to feel like I'm actually doing something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just fucking crazy. I mean, I am talking to just a fucking camera here, which there's an audience on the other side once you upload it to YouTube. But for now, emptiness. So today we're talking about Animal Crossing because I feel like, I don't know, it's just, everyone gave it a 9 out of 10. No. See, over here I give letter grades, and this game would get a C. So out of all the letter grades, it's like, you know, F, D, C, B, A, and then I even do S because I don't know who the fuck created this letter system, but S is supposed to be like superior. It gets a C, and I feel like a lot of us were lied to because this game has the potential to be a game or an S game, but it's lacking. To me, it's completely and honestly lacking for a non-violent, just a nice little save game. And in the beginning, yeah, does it deserve its props? Kinda, sorta. See, here's where Animal Crossing, I guess, messed up, or just, I feel like it's bad design. Maybe they don't even know what the climate is of the new age, but it's not 2001 or whenever the first Animal Crossing came out. It's 2020. And in 2020, I have a fucking just shelf of a butt ton of games that everyone has created. And I know what you're getting. You're thinking, what does it have to do with Animal Crossing, right? What does this have to do? Animal Crossing, the reason why it was popular back in the day is because even if you still had all those games back in the day, games were coming out, when they come out, that's like once a year, once every 4 years, once every whatever. But it was only like the major games, and then, there were some like little small games that made it through, but it wasn't as prominent as it is now. Now, today, in today's climate, we are surrounded by games. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a statistic that says there's a game made every day. And to help you understand a game made every day, back in the day, it took a game 4 to 10 years to be made, to be produced, to be all that stuff. There was game testers, there was yada, yada, yada. Nowadays, it's more streamlined because of the stuff that's involved in it, right? Fine, kudos. But for back in the day, when you didn't have that many games and you had to wait for your actual game to come out that you wanted to play next, and it wasn't just like you had all these little individual games that you can play up until that point, Animal Crossing was fine. It was fine because back in the day, you would play your game, you would do your little task, and then you would move on. I don't know if MMOs are popular nowadays, but I feel like they're not, and there's a reason why. MMOs, same thing. Back in the day, you would hop online, you would do your task, and I mean, most people could play for long periods of time. It was something you truly focused on back in the day because it was that one game that tied you in between other games, and if you were even done with the other games, you just hop back on this and, feel good about doing whatever you're doing online. Like I said, it's just not the same. So with Animal Crossing, it fails to realize that it is out of its element in the game. Like, for a fucking example, Animal Crossing has all the cool makings of, getting out of debt, building bridges, building a little town, getting all your little town people. Cool. After you gotten, all your house paid off, other than just remodeling your house, what else is there to do? You see what I'm saying? There's that, then there's like these little events they're coming out with, which, by the way, I was gonna say, well, what would I do if I had Animal Crossing, right? Because I want to do a deep dive as a video game designer. What would I do if I had Animal Crossing? And if I had Animal Crossing, like I gave my people here, when I'm talking amongst them off cam, an extreme example, and that was like, you go to an island, it's like a dungeon, right? And then you would go and get these really special items that you could just put in your house. That would be amazing. But let's say that's just an extreme example, and the reason I pulled that example is because of its competitor, which happened to be, Stardew Valley, I guess, would be one of its competitors, which is ironic because Stardew Valley is actually a successor to Harvest Moon, which, by the way, there's a new Harvest Moon in the works. What is happening here? You see what I'm saying? When you created something and it was great for back in the time, you look at everything that came out that was, you know, like people liked about that and moved on with it. So for example, most of you, because maybe you're still not getting it. Maybe you're like, oh, he's just rambling. He's just talking about other games and how Animal Crossing is, you know, out of his element when it's not, you know. No, it is, all right? It's really out of his element. And I gave the house example, but after doing all the little shit that they're drip feeding us and fucking getting your island to 5 stars, there's all the extra little shit now. A collectathon is dope, but you still need an objective to just collect things, which by the way, if you're not, you know, time skipping, it would just take days, and that's a chore, like I said, compared to all these other games now that also want you to take chores with them. You're now in a gaming like workflow, a monkey that's just in a cubicle pumping out everything you need to do to get done with video games, and that's not the fun in video games. The fun in video games is creativity, you know, adventure, fantasy, all this other shit that Animal Crossing is not bringing to the table. That is why it would get a C. I've got done with the Mayday thing. By the way, I know I digress. This is what ADHD does, which is fun because then I get to cover all these topics in weird ways. I'll get back to, you know, the what they need to do better and if I had it, but just give me a second. I think because I literally digressed from digressing that now I'm back onto that topic. So I don't even remember what I was talking about. Now I'm just mindlessly rambling. I am all over the fucking place. I stopped playing back during the Mayday thing, which I think this is why it tied in together, which I was like, this is what they should be doing more of. Islands that are little mazes that are unique and you get through them and you can get extra little shit, maybe even special items out of that maze, and that would make that more fun because then that would give you a sense of adventure in something that's peaceful without having to be that dungeon thing that I said earlier, right? Too bad that's only an event that lasted a week. Now it's just back to the boring old stupid shit every once in a while, and like I said, I don't want to time skip to play these games. These are not what these games are nowadays. Do you know, Nintendo? A couple of things, by the way, that's also wrong with the game. That this right here, the hell is this? Oh, it's the weather. This right here, this phone has one of your games that is literally like your game now. What was the point in me buying the Switch console one if I could literally just play the Pocket Camp and have the same exact experience? Someone? Anyone? No? Then exactly. Now you see the flaw in your design. It makes no sense. Which, by the way, flaws in design, building everything one by one, I can give the bridge, the house updates, all that, like the day and all, but really? Quality of life. Come on now, building in bulk, customizing and building. There is literally a video that is making fun of shit that we're talking about right now. That's how you know you fucked up. You can't fix that. You can't patch that in. Is that coming in a major update? When is that major update? I know the Corona's been around for a while, but I mean, come on now. You guys been drip feeding us shit from somewhere somehow. What the hell is happening here? Like, dude, this game is, like I said, by far one. It's a disappointment to me because I love little small games. Like I love little fun games like this, you know, Journey and games that don't just have to resort to violence, and they're just fun, calm, and peaceful. Like it was a great thing for us to just sit in the house, you know, during the major part of the quarantine, just to collect all these little animals, build our house, and pay off debt that most people can't pay off in real life. Thanks for that, Nintendo. Like now, I built a gaming PC over the break because I was tired of fucking working with. I had a laptop that I was running. I think I had said in my last video like 2.1 gigahertz. That shit was slow. The point was it was slow. It wouldn't process fast. All that bullshit. This was a laptop from like 2011. Got a gaming PC. Now I'm playing like the Outer Worlds. I'm playing fucking all the MMOs I used to play. Fucking, there is nothing your game, I forgot about it. I got Maneater now. I'm playing that over your game. I don't want a chore to do every day, nigga, especially when I already have work. A lot of us already have work. A lot of us play games that already have that chore-like grind to it. Why would I want to just grind out something that it goes nowhere? There's no satisfaction in it other than, you know, the small little communities that show each other their islands, which are unique. I like the people who create the little clothes. Kudos to y'all, but how long do y'all really think you're gonna play Animal Crossing? There would have to be a major update for me to hop back into this game. And even after that major update, let's be real, if it costs money, I'm not doing it. I'm not paying Animal Crossing however much for a major update. You can keep it, all right? And this is all the things that are bad with Animal Crossing, just to me. I feel like maybe you guys, because out of desperation, but over and above all, Animal Crossing is this. I feel like every time I get one of these games that you guys are like, yeah, this was the game that I really like. And it's like, I hop onto it, I'm like, all right, I see what it. And then all of a sudden, at least 1 week later, nothing. This game is shit. That happened with Monster Hunter. I beat the last boss. I was like, yeah, okay, it's worth this 60. So what do I do after end game? It's like fight more bosses, the same ones over, but now they're tempered, and then you get better equipment. It's like, so you mean to tell me I'm grinding out monsters? The same ones I fought? Like, the journey was better than what's happening now. And then even still, the journey was a little iffy. Like, what is happening? Games back in the day, they were a little better. They're way better than they are now. Sorry if I sound like a boomer here, but I'm being serious. Dr. Driscoll busting bits. I busted the bits of Nintendo because Animal Crossing nowhere near as good. IGN, who gave it a review, I think it was IGN, of like a 9. You need to calm all the way the fuck down and play a good game. Go play Stardew Valley. To me, that's better. Sorry. I guess I busted the bits of you guys. The community I like the community. It's just like the Sims community, where it's more like they just create little challenges and shit for them, and they keep the game going. I like communities like that because, you know, that's what helps me want to play games. Like, I role play Terraria. I'm not even a Doom guy. I would have gotten Doom Eternal over this game if I didn't know this game was. We bought 3 copies, so each one of us in our family can play, and none of us is playing them, nigga. That's like, what is that? That's like $180. Wasn't worth it. Nigga, $180 is like groceries. Fuck. Speaking about that, before, I'm not even done with you because I thought I was until I said that shit. You motherfuckers made people not be able to play on the different islands, but with the stats right there, why I had to buy 3 copies. Fuck. What were you thinking? And now people review bombing your game. I don't think that's 100% necessary, but at the same time, yeah, that's one reason I could see why people would do it. I have 3 copies of Animal Crossing because all 3 of us wanted a different island, which, by the way, there's only 4 islands. So you do the math. Literally, if I knew there's only 4 islands, I thought they were randomly generated. No, you just pick one. What is happening, Nintendo? Why are you so shit? What is happening to you? You were a good company, now you just turned into a bad one. I wouldn't be surprised if the next Breath of the Wild has some mysterious paywall in it. That's where you guys are heading, because for this Pokemon thing you guys are doing as well, yo, that's a video in its own. But goddamn, Nintendo, you know what? I'm so mad. I'm gonna drop this fucking game to a D. Would not recommend. I don't even know. I wouldn't even say play it with friends because there's no reason. You made it multiplayer, but even that's sketchy. Like, this game is gross. I just dropped it to a D because I'm so goddamn mad at it. It's literally a waste of my money. Good for like the first 3 days when you're just time skipping through and you end up completing your island. After that, fucking trash. Dr. Driscoll, I'm out this bitch.
Thanks for playing